Welcome into H5 Hangar, the home of H5 helicopters, the home of Mitch. There's some cars in here, but today we're gonna focus on this 1969 Dodge Challenger Restomod. Mitch, how you doing today, Mitch?
Outstanding, how you doing there?
Good. On the outside, you did everything like time period correct. There's no like random custom, like that kind of stuff.
No, what we wanted to do on this car, because it was basically a rust-free car from Arizona, and we wanted to keep it as original as far as any resto mods that are typically done on stuff like shaving the handles and things like that. So I wanted to keep everything looking original as far as the body, interior, and everything else, so it has that very original look to it. Now, certain things we did, like tuck in the bumpers here, extra mods that we did on like little bumper guards and stuff that finished it out to little details that you typically wouldn't see on a car of this era.
Were they all already that split nose like that, or is that something?
The 69s were the other ones that had the split grill on it. 68s did not have the split grill, and then when they did the 70, they got rid of the split grill again, and they basically just did a big chrome molding around the whole front of the car.
I think that split's a nice touch.
It is. It sets it off from all the other Chargers.
And it follows that line right down.
Yeah, it's really nice, yeah.
Even though this car is very long, someone call it a boat, it still has beautiful lines on it.
It really does.
They go for days too. Bringing
really
up the point, like I'm looking down this quarter panel, you have no passenger mirror, and you don't have them on any of your cars.
Well, exactly.
So that is the personal preference. Is that just based on the looks, or what made you go with?
Actually, it's just a model. Some of the cars came with dual side
Really?
mirrors.
I didn't know that. Some are stock that way.
Exactly, yeah. As it got into the 70s, I think they started coming out with mirrors on both sides. During that era, you know, they just either had it on one side, not typically always on both sides.
I'm learning as we do this.
Which is nice, because again, you really get to see that line of that car without it being broke up by.
And see, I've heard you say that multiple times. Right. Every time other people that have been here have asked me, why does he not have a passenger mirror? I said, Mitch doesn't like mirrors.
You gotta jerk your neck around.
So I was like, he didn't want to disrupt the lines. I had no idea that that was actually stock that way on some models. The tires are very unique in the fact that they look time appropriate, but these are actually new tires. These are Nittos, right?
High performance Nitto tires. And what we did is we scrubbed the Nitto off, and then we re-billboarded it with tire stickers with the Goodyear polyglass to give it that period correct, air correct look in vintage style.
If that's something that kind of catch your interest, actually go to the H5 channel, and he did a video showing how they do that, how he puts the stickers on everything. So go check that out. That was really cool. You got the lines here that kind of run for days. Have you done anything else to the outside? Was this all original like this?
This was. Now granted, this was originally a yellow car with kind of a tan vinyl top. Made it black with a black vinyl top, keeping everything, you know, as original as, you know, with the tags, all that other stuff like that. Like
how do you change the color of the vinyl itself?
The vinyl company will come in and they'll relay out the vinyl top.
Okay.
So they'll put brand new vinyl on it and relay it out. Absolutely. We redid all the trim, all the molding and everything else was repolished. And the glass was in perfect condition. I mean, unbelievable for this era and this car, to where this glass was in this great a condition. The only other thing that we did, I would say, that we modified on this car was basically got rid of the little locks to the sides. You know, you typically have to unlock the car and lock it. Again, cleaned it up and just got rid of that, and also the antenna. Those are the only two mods we actually did on the outside of the car that didn't come standard on the vehicle.
This fuel cap's really sweet too.
Yeah, this is really unique for that kind of era, like the old race cars, NASCARs of that era, as far as the pop open.
Tail lights, everything else stock?
It is. All this is stock. 69 is when they changed what they call these cat's eyes, or the horizontal on your blinkers here. The 68 were round.
And I'm sure they've probably noticed, why is this car plugged in? It's a Prius.
It's not electric.
This is a Prius on the inside, baby.
Actually, what we've done on all our cars, yeah, exactly, so we have a trickle charger. So in other words, when the cars are sitting here for, let's say, a week at a time or so, we can plug it in and keep the batteries trickle charged. A lot of people raise the hood, you know, put the trickle chargers on the battery and stuff like that, where now we've integrated into the car, so you just plug it in and it keeps the battery tendered and charged.
Was that something that they were already doing, or did you come up with that?
Absolutely not. No, we basically came up. It's actually a marine type deal for boats and whatnot, to where we basically integrated into the car.
I've got a feeling he's probably doing it on some other people's cars now too.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You can see shooting across here, like the turn indicators and stuff, and you got the indentions here on the hood. I said that when we were reviewing your truck. When you look through your windshield and you have something aggressive to look at, for me, it's part of driver satisfaction of what you see when you look at your hood. That's what you see every day. You don't see all of this. That's what you see every day. So to me, those little things like that you look at are really important.
Yeah, and they just have little turn signals integrated into the hood. They did that on like the Mustang we have here on the 68. Little unique things like that they just did in that, that time frame.
I know you have a lot of stuff on the inside that looks original, but it has today's technologies or anything like that on the outside other than obviously plugging it in?
Not really. I mean, we again try to keep everything as original as possible. I like people to look at the cars and enjoy historically what these cars look like in that time period. So it's really kind of a time capsule that we wanted to create with the car. But when you start getting deep into the build of the car, that's when it becomes a whole nother animal with putting the Hellcat engine, subframe connectors, 6-speed trimming system, the entire underneath and undercarriage and drivetrain of the car is basically a 21st century vehicle that we basically just put the body and frame on.
Considering we got another 100+ degree day, pop this in here and that way we can look at the engine instead of outside of the sun. So let's go.
And that's the beauty of this car. I mean, this thing can run in 115 degree weather. It's still going to be ice cold inside with the vintage air package we put in and whatnot. These are some of the other details that the fabricator did.
Very cool.
As far as fabricating these, metal pieces that go across just to finish the look. Like absolutely, yeah. That looks where this would typically be open, you'd see in the car, but they pretty much detailed everything out.
Now, I want to let you guys know, this man actually drives these cars. I mean, drives them almost every single day. If it's nice enough outside, he's taking one of these cars. And I know the guys that have built these for you have already made comments that you're one of their only customers that really puts miles on them and drives them a lot. A lot of the guys that I know that have things like that, none of them drive them either. So I love and respect the fact that you drive them all. That's what they're for.
They are, that's what they're originally built to drive, and that's what we do with them. And it's really unique because it's fun to see people's, responses when you're on the road with these. Because for a lot of people, certainly our age, my age, brings back a lot of memories of what these vehicles were like back in the day.
I bet.
And, times I wish I could be watching the car drive down the road instead of being behind the wheel, because it is really a neat vehicle to see on the road driving, because it's just not really very often that you see these older vehicles, except like at car shows, things like that, to where, like you said, I drive these every day, whether it's going to the grocery store or wherever you're going. So,
and we've got a Hellcat engine dropped in here.
Correct.
And you did pulleys.
Right, we did an upgraded pulley on this, which gave us about another 80 to 100 horsepower. So going from the stock 6.2 liter Hellcat engine, basically integrated it up to what would you basically call the Hellcat Red Eye.
You have exhaust on this?
We do. Fabricator, American Legends, did a custom stainless steel exhaust on it. And beautiful work underneath. I mean, the work they did on top is as pretty as it is underneath the car too. So very meticulous on all their lines, the fabrication, and everything else that they did on the car. I would say one of the top builders in the country. These guys are really incredible.
Well, let's go fire this thing up and see what it can
do. Let's do it.
All these gauges look original. There's still modern technology to it, though.
Correct. There's a company called Dakota Digital, makes the gauges identical to what they looked like back in the day, but because we have the Hellcat in it, now these gauges will actually talk to the car, or actually talk to the engine. So when I fire it up, you'll see how it all is kind of digital at the bottom. It gives me all my readings as far as temperatures, things like that of the engine versus the old analog gauges. So we'll get digital readout, but then the gauges still look like the old analog gauges that they had back in the day. Same thing with the radio. Looks like the old radio that was back in the day, but it's got Bluetooth, phone hooks up to it, everything else. This is really awesome. Let's turn the AC/DC off. The AC system, you got like these old controls like they were back in the day underneath, so
dang, and that's pumping too, which I bet our man back there definitely appreciates.
A few mods we've done on it as far as like with the brake. It's an electric brake, electric motor for the emergency brake, which we have hooked up to one of the toggle switches here, and just a few other things that we hooked some of the other gauges up to. So as we back out of here,
I could even tell just watching you feather that clutch what you're talking about with the throw on it.
This one, even it's a dual hydraulic clutch. There's so much power in this car to really get that feather properly so it doesn't lurch on you and go out ahead of you. So it's really nice because we got that 6-speed, you got the high top end, but yet you still got really out of the hole speed that you can get.
Digs.
Absolutely.
That's good turning radius on it. That
really
was
does,
better than I thought it would be.
That was coming out of second, not first even. So you can really light it up and smoke the tires pretty good.
What's your favorite thing about driving this car?
I think just the nostalgia of my childhood.
That's what I figured.
Which is probably what got me so motivated to redo these cars. Back in the day, in the late 60s, early 70s, you know, my dad and my brothers were so into these cars, and it just takes me right back to that time, you know, my childhood, which, you know, I had some great memories there.
That's one of my favorite thing about cars is like when you're a car person, you get it. Right. Like everybody has their own unique style that they like, and to each their own.
We don't have much of a stretch here because you want to tack that thing all the way up. Right. Because we'll get it up to where you start feeling it fall off, then we grab another gear in it.
What brakes do you have on it? Is it?
These are the Willwood, 4-wheel discs all the way around. So even just at a dead stop here, let's see what we can do as far as lighting this thing up.
Absolutely. Oh my God, I love that. Oh my God.
A little too much.
How can someone not love that?
So you can see it out in front where we grabbed. We dropped to the second, got it, hooked up. You can see it going. So
exactly.
If hydrogen went for third, it'd have been just smoking some more rubber off there. So I don't want to buy a new set of tires just yet. So.
When this is in turns, even though it's so long, does it still feel manageable to an extent?
Unlike the smaller pony cars, there's such a long wheelbase on this. It doesn't get as squirrely as it does like on the other cars.
Gotcha.
So
even in reverse.
In reverse here. Look at that.
Yeah. I lost my hat. That was awesome.
Yeah, about an inch of rubber there on her tires.
Rolling this crank window down, what an experience. I've actually never been in here with him before, and this thing is absolutely awesome. That smell is fantastic. Smell gasoline and burning rubber. Some brakes. That was an experience. I don't have the words to articulate what that was like. I mean, it's a blast from the past while you got that kind of performance, that kind of sound, your ability to drive. That's something you just have to be able to experience for yourself. Hopefully this video gave you a little taste of it and you guys enjoyed this. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a 1969 Dodge Charger with a red eye Hellcat in it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Lifted Motors. Appreciate you, brother.
Awesome, thank you.